Just Shyla. What's up? What's up? What's up? So, I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about New York Fashion Week and just I guess, just like my experience and some do's and don'ts for myself. Just some things I've learned, some things I have observed. So, we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna talk to y'all for a little bit. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, but thanks for tuning in. And I'm gonna definitely have some content for y'all. Oh, I was supposed to have a New York Fashion Week vlog. Yo, I don't know who was working against me. Like, what's tea? What's the beef? Like, why? Like, why you mad? Like, but my file got corrupted. I didn't have it backed up. Whatever. We gonna come back harder. But yeah, the file got corrupted. I didn't have it backed up. I'm like, but we're gonna come back bigger, better. Period. But yeah, first thing first, I do wanna give like roses. Throwing roses. Fashion Week had a lot of great benefits. Like the networking went crazy. It was amazing. Like a week and a half to 2 weeks of just like networking, building, and creating. Like 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 roses, 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 throwing roses. It was amazing. I met so many like dope individuals, so many creatives, so many just like business oriented people, and just like connections that I think will definitely grow and flourish. So I'm definitely appreciative of that. So, with all the amazing, dope individuals that I met, I am looking forward to just building, and creating more with you all. So yeah, I do want to say. So basically, I created this post right, on TikTok. TikTok literally changed my life. Like, me being someone I've never really used TikTok, and I was like, you know what? Let me just really let me put in the work. Let me do it. Like, let me do it. But I really was an Instagram girly, and like I was like, okay, let me put in the work. Let me do what I gotta do, right? So I just was like, okay, I had got emailed this form to fill out for a runway show that I was cordially invited to, and like it was a form that you had to like fill out or whatever. And I was like, you know what, I'm not about to gatekeep this. Like, they sent this to me, but you know what, let me just see. I was like, I'm gonna send it to other people, and I'm gonna send them the links. So, and if they can go to a runway show too, why not? So I made a post and I was like, I have access to runway shows for people who are just coming in, the fashion girls and boys who want to go to runway shows but haven't gotten any invites. Comment me and your Instagram, and I will send you the link. So that's what I did. So everyone was commenting, boom, right? I was sending it out. Then I was like, let me go a step further. And I was like, you know what? Whoever wants to be added to a group chat for New York Fashion Week updates, comment me in your Instagram and I'll add you to the group chat. I created a group chat for New York Fashion Week updates, and then, people started to network. It became like a great networking opportunity for everyone, and just a space for everyone to like just share ideas and like share, events that they may know about, shows that they may know about. Boom, boom, boom. People were just building off of it, and it really created a community that I feel like is really, really needed, especially in the fashion world. We all know how like the people gatekeep, and like people are just like especially like with the whole stigma around like content creators being invited into the fashion spaces. Now they feel like, oh, it's not well deserved, and people kind of feel like content creators just do not deserve to be in these spaces. And I don't typically agree with that. I feel like not everyone, is a model, designer, or like just like fashion blogger or anything like pertaining to that. Some people just enjoy fashion, or even like just content creators. Like, why should they not be in these spaces if you enjoy something? Like, why gatekeep? I don't know. I'm just not a gatekeeper, so I was sending it out. created that group chat and created a community. I really feel like this is my baby. I birthed something and I'm watching it grow. It's flourishing into many other things, which we will talk about soon. We got a lot of great things on the way. It really I'm really nurturing it, and it's really transforming into something bigger, bigger than me, and it's I'm so excited. So yeah, it's really becoming this big thing, and everyone is I'm a very introverted person. I'm very shy, and it's hey, they be oh my god, you really the goat for real, because I am a Capricorn, but I'm not really into astrology anymore, for my own personal reasons. But I do tell people I'm a Capricorn. I am, because that's what I am. But yeah, just more so on my journey with God. I'm not really deep into astrology, but anyway, that's another topic for another day. But they be you really the goat, and I be but I be humble with it. Honestly, I really don't be I be oh, it's no problem, To me, I feel a lot of this information is accessible. You just have to go out and do your own research. But sometimes you need a person who does that research for you, and the person who is the holder of all information and is able to reach out to the masses. So yeah, I'm becoming that person, and it's cool, whatever. But anyway, we got big things coming, but we're gonna talk about that another time. But so to the gatekeeping, like I said, Fashion Week was definitely amazing for me. It had more, how would I say, it was more beneficial than, not. More great than not great, more good than bad. But I will share an experience that I had at one event. I had met this photographer back in February at Fashion Week as well, New York Fashion Week. And they were kind of doing the same thing this year with this company that collabs with major brands on releases. So they were collabing with UGG on their new release, right? And the photographer reached out to me because they basically, what they do is they just do photography. They do little shoots or whatever, little shoots just for the guests coming in, whatever, right? So he reached out to me. He was oh, you should pop into the event. Da, 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 da. So I'm okay, RSVP, I come through, whatever. And then I get there, and it's kind of just weird energy. So I was already out and about downtown, come from other events. So I was okay, I will head there since I'm already down, and it happened the event was just starting, but I'm okay, whatever. So, waiting for the vibes a little bit, but I was by myself, and I am an introverted person, so maybe it was just on my part as well. I had to take accountability. But you can just feel the vibes. The girlie know the vibes. I know the vibes. Same reason why, I just went with some strangers to their cousin's house. Ted Bundy would have had a time. But nah, I could just feel vibes. Just whatever. It was cool. It was a group of people. And the man cool. I've met one great person from that, that I still communicate with. So, anyway, yeah, you just know the vibes, and the vibes just were not vibing. People were being weird, cliquey. It was just a lot of energy, stares, and just people just make you feel oh, you're not supposed to be in this space. How are you here? And that's what it gave. Nobody can make me feel that way, but how they try to make you feel that way, and it's I'm supposed to be here. First of all, I was cordially invited. Anyway, yeah, it was just a lot of just that energy, and I feel that's how it is in a lot of that's how it is in a lot of these spaces and this industry, and I do not like it. So I, everything I do is with good intention, and not to receive anything in return. Of course, yesterday's price is not today's price, so I gotta make my coin, but. Like I said, we got big things coming, but the people who have rocked with me from the beginning, because this was just waking up one day and was you know what, let me just do this. Those people, we locked in or whatever. But going forward, of course, we got big things coming, and there's gonna be things that follow. So we had great times and then we had weird vibes. But, I just don't like that. Like with this industry, with most creative spaces, they make people feel a certain type of way. It's very cliquey and like you shouldn't do that. That deters a lot of people and it's like, like why? Why are you being that way? That's not cool. Like it's cool to be kind, God don't like that. But yeah. That's what happened to me. People were being weird, and whatever. I removed myself from the space. I'm like, okay, this is not a space that deserves my energy. Speaking of, let's be intentional. Speaking of that, I wanna touch light on intentional. I don't know why. Like, I just had a brain fart. But speaking on that, I'm gonna speak on being intentional. So speaking on that, being intentional with your time is very, very important. Yeah, because as we know, there's so many events and everything. We want to go everywhere. We want to do everything. We want to network. We want to do this. We want to do that. But, be intentional with your time and energy because, like, you have to see if something, excuse me, if it like suits you and your brand, like you're not gonna just like say you're someone how do I say it? Like it's pretty simple, I don't know. I'm sorry, on my arm. Basically, like say I'm gonna just give like a random example that's not pertaining to fashion, right? You're someone who likes Pepsi, so like you would want to go to like a Pepsi event. But, like, if you're someone who likes, Gatorade, maybe you wouldn't want to go to a Pepsi event, but you would prefer to go to, like, an event geared towards Gatorade. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, and you have to be careful because, like, I mean, I guess everything can be a networking experience, but they do have, like, a lot of different, and if that's your vibe, that's cool. They do have like a lot of different events. Like people can just create a flyer and throw Fashion Week on it, and then like all these after parties that like aren't even Fashion Week after parties, and they just throw New York Fashion Week after party on the flyer, and it's just like regular spaces that people are just there and like there, and it'd be weird vibes. So just like just be careful in certain spaces, but also just be intentional with your time. It's just very, very important. Make sure you're networking. Make sure, like, you can create, like, talking points. You want to, like, go out there and maximize your time. Of course, everyone wants to go to shows and, get your content. But you got to be behind the camera, and then you got to put the camera down. Like, you want to get your content, be out there, boom, boom, boom. But then you got to put the camera down, and you got to do what you do. And you gotta network, you gotta talk. So that's important. Maybe like you can create like talking points like beforehand for yourself. Okay, when you go out, like I got 2 things I'm gonna say. It's not really selling yourself, but it's just like, okay, I'm so and so. The basic questions that everybody asks, like, oh hi, what's your name? Da, da, da. Where you from? What do you do? Like what's your brand or. So that's definitely something that I have to take note of for myself. Just being intentional with my time and energy, because there were some events where I'm like, okay, why am I here? How does this serve me? How does this benefit me? Like I wouldn't say all, but because like there were a lot of networking how do you say, experiences or whatever, but there were some spaces where I was like, okay, I feel like yeah, it was a waste of my time, for lack of better words right now. But, whatever. But yeah, so just be intentional with your time and energy. Speaking of shows and like wanting to be everywhere and all of that, I know a lot of people want to be at like runway shows and all of that, and a lot of shows are invite only. They do have, like, there are some shows where you can just get tickets. A majority of the times those are of most would consider like lower end brands. They're not on the list of, New York Fashion Week, but they're still pretty good. I honestly feel like New York, the real New York, you feel me, what most could consider like the smaller brands, the underground or whatever, that's really where it starts, where it comes from, where you'll find the most opportunities. The real New York, you feel me? I feel like that's where a lot of the opportunities come from. Excuse me. A lot of the opportunities come from in those spaces. So, like, don't shy away, like, oh, I want to go to a Prada show. I want to go to an Off-White show. I want to da-da-da-da. And, like, be trying to forget the people who really created these, the fashion. So, yeah. And also, like, events is really where you're going to find a lot of networking, too. It's going to be a lot of opportunities to like really speak with people and all that. I know everyone wants to go to shows. You can still do both, but like don't forget the events and like the smaller shows as well. It's okay. You put in that work and you be out there, push your content, just like get your content. You got to fake it till you make it. Be out there, gain your content, make it look good, boom, 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 and then, people's going to recognize you, and then you'll be getting those invites. Manifest it. And when I say manifest it, I mean like, not the Delulu. But the Lulu can become Trululu. But nah, like when I say manifest it, I mean manifest it in your work. Like putting that work, you can speak it through your work, and then it's gonna come true. Like cause you put in that work. You feel me? Like your word. So yeah, push your content. Keep pushing your content. You're gonna get there. You got this. You're doing it. You're here. You're here. You got this. You're doing great, sweetie. But, yeah. So I don't want to talk your ear off too much. I feel like I had some talking points, and then I kind of like just started rambling. So long story short, for me, New York Fashion Week was definitely a success. There were some weird vibes, but there were greater vibes that overshadowed the weirdness. So yeah, great vibes, great networking. Like networking went crazy. So working, February will be here before we know it. So I'm getting things done for y'all, and I'm gonna be telling y'all soon, real soon. We cooking, and it's gonna be great for everyone. Yeah, that's really it. Like I said, I feel like I have more talking points, but I don't want to talk your ear off, and I feel like I've been rambling. But those are just some takeaways for me from New York Fashion Week. Thanks for tuning in.